Hello and welcome back to my channel, my precious little babies. So this week I made some watercolors for you because personally I have a lot of work to do with it. So I thought it would be the most perfect time to practice. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Hello, my precious little babies, and welcome back to my workstation. So I started off by trying to give you guys some love, but then I got really confused. Well, I sort of failed at that, but that's okay. It's the thought that counts. I hope for you, it is for me. Anyways, after that, I decided to get my book out because today we are going to make some watercolor art. The first thing we need is obviously our watercolors. Now this is a very crappy palette, but I for some reason love working with it. So our first subject is this cute little bear that I drew up for everyone. It took me way more time than I expected it to. The walls are going to be this majestic blue color, and then the floor is going to be this beigey peachy color because I thought it was going to be the perfect color for like a little carpet. So this bear is going to be a little brown bear because those are my favorite. I think they're so adorable and so cute, and I kind of wanted to go for like a little plushy feel. Wanted this bear to be a little plushy bear, but sort of not at the same time. So first thing I start off with is giving him just a base brown color, and then we're gonna go in with the same color but layering the colors on top of each other to create some shadows within his little fur. Later, we will change the color of his fur to like a lighter grayer brown color because I thought this was just way too dark. And then we have this little honey jar in the corner that we'll paint to look like a honey jar because I don't know about you. Do you guys like honey? I love honey. I will literally eat it till I'm sick and want to throw up from it because that is how much I love it. As we continue, I gave the background this darker blue on the outside to create some depth, to make the bear be the centerpiece. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so here's where I changed the color. It kind of doesn't look any different from over here, but I swear to God, when I was doing this, I thought it was better, maybe not. So then we're just gonna line everything with a black micron fine liner, I guess that's what it's called, and give it the cartoony look that I'm really looking for. And again, we're gonna do the same for the little honey jar, and then we're going to bring in some of the highlights back, make it look all juicy and like there's some light source somewhere. I gave the honey the most amount of highlights because I think it's supposed to look all honey-like and colorful. So then let's move on to our next piece, which is going to be this girl that my first thought for her was she's going to have this fire hair. So she's like this fire girl. I want to cry. That's not what it ended up looking like. In my defense, I did look up a picture of a fire. I didn't just go into this blindly, but I think the problem came to be that I looked up pictures of actual fire and not like a cartoon fire for reference, because real fire, I'm not a hyper realist. I don't know how to draw that, so I did the best that I could. And I feel like at this point, I should have stopped with the hair. I should have just left it with this orange watercolor on top of it. It sort of represents fire, right? But that didn't end up happening. And then her face was another big problem for me because I didn't know how to draw a fire face. I think at this point I should have stopped, but no, I kept going, layering and layering, and at some point I literally gave up on trying to film it because I was like, the amount of footage that I'm going to have to go through to get to a final look that I don't even freaking like is going to be so immense that I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do half of this off camera to fix her face and make it not look so not like fire, basically. At this stage of the process, I still had hope though. I still was like, maybe this will just take some time. Maybe if I just keep layering stupid colors on top of themselves, they'll eventually make her look good. Um, um, I don't know. So I kind of ended up going to the background, trying to just restart my little brain to figure out how I was going to make this work. And at this point, even, I should have left it here, but I'm sort of a perfectionist, so I didn't stop. I kept struggling and trying so hard to make this work. And why did I do this? I don't know. But I think in the end, it was a good learning lesson for all of us. Just quit while you're ahead. But I did not quit. I persevered, and it got me nowhere. So let's just watch me mess this whole thing up. And honestly, in the end, it didn't look terrible, but it also didn't look that great either. So I'm gonna keep complaining. It makes me so angry that I put in this much work to get to this. Look at her. Where is the light source? Where are the shadows coming from? I don't know. But she looks like a freaking demon with like a Homer Simpson face, but let me not be too harsh on her. So I thought maybe if I just fine line this, it will all work out. Maybe it'll give her some oomph because sometimes I'm not happy with my work, but the moment I put the fine liner in, it like fixes it all somehow. But this did not happen. She compared to my other works, like it's just not good. And this is where we got. Um yeah, let's just silently move on from that. So our next project is going to be coffee themed. So I made this coffee specifically for this. And as I'm going along, I'm like, oh my god, this is so light. This is the lightest freaking thing I've ever worked with. And I did a bunch of coats of just this one until I go in and fix the coffee. So I fixed the coffee. This is the new batch. It's a lot darker and bolder, and it's so much easier to layer. So basically, I took the old coffee and put so much instant espresso in there to make it as dark as possible. And we got to this nice, rich, warm brown color. I just love brown. Brown is such a good color. And this was like the easiest thing I did in this whole entire video. I mean, look at it. It's just like the shortest amount of time, but it's also one of my favorites, which means don't overcomplicate things. But I overcomplicated things a little bit. But this is my redemption. This is where we all can see that I'm an okay artist. And then to make the chocolate chips look all melty and nice, I put some highlights on them and made them look delicious. I'm so in the mood for some chocolate chip cookies now. I love them. And then I'm also in the mood for coffee now. Gosh darn it, so good. So then I put some highlights on the coffee cup, and at this point I'm like, yes, finally a light source. So let's move on to our next little project, which is going to be this little cartoony little mixtape and some lavender plants. This is where I get my confidence back after that whole Fire Girl fiasco. Oh my god, I had so many dreams for her, so many ambitions, all just gone to waste. But she's stuck in this book forever, so don't forget your mistakes, you can learn from them. So I love drawing mixtapes. I think it's one of the most like funnest things to do because you can customize it so much. Make it just like any color that you want. You can put like different things on the tape as if like someone drew it on. And then here we have our little lavender plants. I mean, this is pretty typical for me to do. I just love lavender. And this gave me like a really good opportunity to work with watercolors because I don't think I've ever drawn or made lavender out of watercolors before, and that's what I usually see people make it with. So I started off with this blue color, and then we're just going to put some purple on top of that, blend it all together, and then we're going to put this little pinky color to create some highlights in a sense. So we're just gonna watercolor in the rest of the mixtape for the moment, make the center like very dark blue, and then make the little holes brown where you would see the background. And then to add some depth to the lavender plant, we're just gonna take a darker green and put it through to, give it highlights, shadows, blah, blah, blah. Taking the same dark green, we're just gonna make sure that everything at the bottom really pops. And then we're just gonna, you know, color the rest of this little mixtape with all the colors that we need. And then we're just gonna fine line everything. And this is where all the details really come through and just look so freaking cute. I want to do mixtapes of all different colors, rainbows, pastels, whatever the hell you guys want. Um, and then we're gonna add the highlights to everything and make it pop, make it look very plasticky because that's typically what mixtapes are made out of. And we're just gonna highlight the rest of the lavender plants as well because they need it. The sun is right there. I wish I could have used a yellow, but moments passed. Let's move on. So this is our last project of the day, these giant eyes that I love so much. I mean, you guys sort of know me at this point. I love making faces. Like, faces are my favorite thing. Obviously, we're going to make this girl blue because I wanted to end on a high note, and I was not going to mess around with any other skin tones in this video. So blue is my favorite type of woman in the world. I know there's not actually blue women out there unless you have some type of genetic thing going on with you. But at that point, like, I know it's probably bad, but it's kind of cool to me that if someone can have like blue skin like naturally. And I mean, most of the time it's like due to metal poisoning or something like that. Don't quote me on that because I don't know anything about it. I just heard somewhere. Objection, hearsay. Now this was the most difficult part for me because I had to choose an eye color, and that is very difficult to do because I always want to make the eye colors just so like the main focus, right? Because this is the main focus. So I did something that I have never done before. I added like 3 or 4 different colors to the eyes, and I thought it was like I'm so proud of that because I'm very scared to use different colors. So even though they're in the same type of color families, it's very I'm just so proud of myself. Look at me using colors. So now we're just gonna fine line everything and bring all the details in there, like the pupils, make the eyebrows look hairy and bushy, make them look nice. And then for the eyelashes, I did like normal-ish eyelashes for the top, but for the bottom, I wanted to do this like the 80s look of having very thick bottom lashes because I love that look. I saw a picture of someone who had it and I thought that looked really cool. And then we're going to add the highlights, and this is where it all comes together. Look at this. Now let's do the final flip through. So we have the bear, now this little demon child that's going to be my nightmares. And we have coffee and some cookies, the mixtape and the lavender. And then finally my favorite thing out of this entire thing, the little blue girl with the cool eyes. And to shut it, I put this rubber band around it because otherwise it wouldn't have stayed closed. And now let's get to the outro. So as you just saw, we made this little book full of little watercolors that I did. I thought I did a pretty good job. Not as good of a job as I've seen other people do, but this is my progress, my personal little journey of becoming a better artist. I did like all these little ones. This one took me the most amount of time. And it's not bad, it's just I had different ideas for what I wanted this to look like. But again, I'm not that great at watercolors yet. So I was going for fire hair, but I don't know how to make fire. This one I love so freaking much because I painted this with coffee and nothing else. And it's kind of cool because the coffee in the spots where it's more heavily painted on, it has this like shimmer to it, so that's pretty cool. I did these little things, you know, my obsession with lavender. It's just like an easy thing to do and it always comes out so pretty. And then my favorite one that I did were these little eyes. I love this one so much because it's like the first time that I used different colors within the painting. I typically get really scared to do different colors within my portraits because I don't know how it's gonna look and I just don't want to mess everything up. but it was a good first try to do something like this. Now I will say, painting eyes has always been something that like I love to do so much, but at the same time I can never get the symmetry perfectly. I was thinking about that and I thought I should really stop beating myself up for it, because as you can see, my eyes, my face is not symmetrical. Most animals that you see are not symmetrical. Most things in nature are just not symmetrical, and that's okay because it's nature. It's just how it is. And now that I've told you that my eyes are not symmetrical, please stop looking at them, because I know you are. Whatever. So I don't want to beat myself up for it because I'm so proud of this and I think it looks really cute. Things don't have to be symmetrical. It's art. The point of art is to encompass what you're drawing, what you're painting, whatever. Yeah, this is my little book and I have to hold it together with like a little rubber band because this was my first book that I ever made, so I used matte Mod Podge on top of this, so it just became really stiff. I still love it. I'm still gonna paint in it. I mean, I have. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I know it's like a little bit different because I don't think I've done that much watercolor work on this channel, and that's cool. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I enjoyed making it for you, as always. And please come back next week because I have a little haul for you. It is time for that time to say goodbye. So, bye. Bye-bye. I'm a little fishy. Bye. I got him some sugar water right here, but he's not eating it. I'm pretty sure he can sense that there's something there. But look, we have a little friend. Oh, he found the sugar water. Oh, he's so cute. I know a lot of people would kill him or something. Ants release a hormone or some type of... Basically, they alert their little troops if they find food or something so that the rest of them can come. But I'm obviously gonna wipe this off when he leaves because I don't want them stopping by. But he's so cute and he deserves a little treat. There he is. Look at his little antennas. I love animals. They're so fucking precious. God, he's high. Oh, he's walking backwards. Oh, are you okay, buddy? I hope I didn't poison you. Have a good day. Oh, look at him cleaning himself. Oh, he's so cute. Anyways, we're gonna keep him here. If he decides to leave, that's cool. If his friends come by, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I don't want to kill him or anything, because he's just trying to live his little life. Oh, going back for seconds.